Good day, everyone. So for today's video, I am going to discuss Chapter 2 of our subject, Fundamentals of Criminal Investigation and Intelligence. Chapter 2, we have there the historical background of criminal investigation. So number 1, we have 1248. In China, a Chinese book, His Duan Yu, or the Washing Away of Wrongs, was written containing a description on how to distinguish drowning from strangulation. This was the first recorded application of medical knowledge to the solution of the crime. So in this book, nakasulat po doon kung ano po yung pagkakaiba ng drowning or pagkakalunod sa strangulation or sa pagkakasakal. Okay? So, ito po ang pinakaunang recorded na paggamit ng medical knowledge para isolve ang isang krimen. Next, we have also in 720s, England, we have Jonathan Wild. He is a reformed criminal and became London's most effective criminal investigator. He became the most famous thief catcher. Siya po yung pinakasikat. Okay? At kilala sa pag-aaresto or paghuli sa mga magnanakaw. Okay? His methods popularized the idea of employing a thief to catch a thief. He introduced the idea of charging a fee for locating and returning stolen property to its rightful owners. So, ang ginawa po dyan ni Jonathan Wild is that in-employ niya isang magnanakaw para huliin din ang kanyang kapwa magnanakaw. Yun po yung kanyang naging famous na tactics para po mahuli yung mga magnanakaw because he is one of the most famous thief catcher. Next, we have also Henry Fielding. He is an Englishman who wrote a novel entitled Tom Jones and was appointed as magistrate or sheriff for the area of Westminster and Middlesex in London. While he was the magistrate, he performed a group of non-uniform thief catchers attached to the Bow Street Court, whose function was to detect and watch criminal. Actually, Henry Fielding was an English novelist and dramatist who known for his earthy humor and satire. And as the author of comic novel Tom Jones, he and Samuel Richardson are seen as founders of traditional English novel. He also holds a place in the history of law enforcement by using his authority as magistrate to found Bow Street Runners. Okay? Ang Bow Street Runners po ay ang pinakaunang active police force sa England or sa London. Okay? Next, we have also Sir John Fielding. He is the brother of Henry Fielding and took control of Bow Street Court. His investigators were then called Bow Street Runners. Sabi ko nga, Bow Street Runners is the first active police force in London, and they were quite effective because of his personal guidance. Although he was blind, siya po ay isang bulag. He introduced the practice of developing paid informants. So, naghahanap po siya ng mga informants. Okay? Yung mga binabayarang informants. Okay? And also, printing wanted notices, employing criminal raids, and bearing firearms and handcuffs. Next, we have also Patrick Colquhoun. He is a prominent London resident, proposed the unique idea of creating a sizable uniformed police force to secure the city of London as an answer to the alarming increase of criminality. So for Patrick Colquhoun, okay, he also created the sizable uniformed police force so that they could address some of the crimes committed in the city of London. And Patrick Colquhoun is a Scottish merchant, okay, statistician a magistrate, and founder of the first regular preventive police force in England. Okay, yung tinatawag ting the Thames River Police. So, take note, ang unang regular preventive police na create ni Patrick Colquhoun ay the Thames River Police. Okay? Next, we have also Eugene Francis Vidocq. Okay? He is a former convict who became a Paris investigator. Tignan nyo yan. Dati silang mga convict, mga criminal din. Okay? But then, after that, siya ay naging isang investigador. Kasi siguro, alam nila yung mga pinaggagawa, yung mga tactics, yung mga strategies na ginagamit ng mga kriminal. Okay? He founded the Brigade de la Surete, now known as Surete National, which became the National Detective Agency of France. Vidocq popularized the principle of set a thief to catch a thief. Parang yung kanina din. Okay? Na you need to employ a thief para mahuli mo din lang yung kapwa mo magnanakaw. Okay? He also introduced the concept of trade protection policy, which became the forerunner of our credit card system. Okay? Next, we have Sir Robert Peel. He founded the London Metropolitan Police called the Scotland Yard, or yung Scotland Yard Police. He reiterated the idea of creating sizable police force in his recommendations, which lead the passage of the Metropolitan Police Act. He introduced the techniques of surveillance such as detectives concealing themselves and secretly photographing and recording conversation. So, for Sir Robert Peel, yung kanyang Scotland Yard Police ay inintroduce niya sa kanila yung mga techniques kung papaano yung mga proper ways sa surveillance. Naka-include na po dyan yung pagsesekretong pagpipicture, pagpo-photograph at pag-record ng pinag-usapan nang hindi nalalaman ng iyong kausap. So, marami pa pong mga ibang surveillance techniques ang itinuro ni Sir Robert Peel sa Metropolitan Police or the so-called Scotland Yard Police. Next, we have also Henry Goddard, one of the Scotland Yard's original Bow Street runners. He is the one to first use bullet comparison to catch a murderer. His comparison was based on a visible flaw of bullet that was traced back to a mold. Okay? So, for bullet comparison, dyan po, like, the bullet comparison is yung ginamit mong barel ay magkakandak ka po ng firing test or test fire sa bullet recovery box para malaman kung yung baril ba na ginamit sa krimen ay yung baril din bang tinitest mo. Okay? You need to trace and take a look into the mold kung nanggaling ba yung bullet na yun sa iisang baril. Okay? That is for Henry Goddard. Next, we have also the Texas Ranger, organized as first law enforcement agency with statewide investigative authority. Actually, Texas Ranger is the forerunner of FBI or the Federal Bureau of Investigation. So, yan po yung mas una kaysa sa FBI. Yan po ang naging unang organized law enforcement bago po nagkaroon ng FBI or the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Next, we have also William Henry Fox Talbot. He explained a photographic process he had invented to the Royal Society of London. Okay? For John Herschel, he is the one who coined the term photography in the English language. So, ibig sabihin, ang pinakaunang nag-discover sa word na photography is si John Herschel. Next, we have also Jean-Jacques Mande Daguerre. Okay? Gave a public demonstration in Paris, France, of his discovery known as daguerreotype process, that he developed in collaboration with Joseph Nicephore Niepce. Okay? Daguerre, from his surname, Daguerre is the daguerreotype process. Ang kanyang kakolab dyan, or katulong sa kanyang project ay si Joseph Nicephore Niepce. Next, in Boston, Massachusetts, USA, multi-suspect identification lineup was employed for the first time. Okay, actually, identification lineup, if you are aware with the investigation room na merong one-way mirror, okay, magla-line up dyan actually from 1 to 10 person. Paglalainin doon sa room na yon, wherein yung mag-identify ay nasa labas ng room na yon. Meron pong one-way mirror wherein hindi ka makikita nung nasa loob. Hindi makikita nung nasa loob yung nasa labas. And then, possibly, yung witness na nasa labas ang ma-identify doon sa mga naka-line up doon sa loob ng room na yon. Okay? Particularly, investigation or interview and interrogation room. Okay? Tawag po doon ay identification lineup. Ituturo doon ng witness kung sino ba doon yung nag-commit ng crime. Nakaline sila doon, mga 1 to 10 person. Okay? Next, we have also Charles Dickens. Through his story entitled Bleak House, he introduced the term detective to the English language. So, si Charles Dickens naman po ang pinakaunang nag-introduce ng word na detective sa English language. Next, we have also Alan Pinkerton, America's most famous private investigator. So, take note, siya ang pinakasikat na private investigator. He is considered as the founder of American criminal investigation system. He also established the practice of handwriting examination in American courts and promote a plan to centralize criminal identification records. So, si Alan Pinkerton ang pinakasikat na private investigator and siya po ang founder ng American Criminal Investigation System wherein in-establish niya ang handwriting examination. Okay? I-determine po yung way ng pagsusulat in the Americans court. Okay? Next, we have also Kate Wayne. He is the first hired woman detective by Pinkerton Agency. Siya pong pinakaunang babaeng detective na hired. Okay? Doon sa Pinkerton Agency ni Alan Pinkerton. Next, we have also Alphonse Bertillon. He is a French police clerk, introduced the first systematic identification system based on anthropometry. So, when we say anthropometry, wherein it includes physical measurement or body measurement. Okay? Yun po yung way niya ng pag-identify sa isang tao. So, he was recognized as the founder of criminal identification, and a year later, he successfully identified the first recidivist. When we say recidivist, yun po yung mga paulit-ulit na nagkukumit ng crime using the technique that he developed, which is under the anthropometry or anthropometric measurement. And we have also the portrait parley. Next, Francis Galton. He is an English scientist, published his study on classifying fingerprints. While other scientists were studying fingerprints in their biological nature, Galton recognized their uniqueness and potentiality in criminal investigation. So for Francis Galton, he is the one who is studying the classification of the different fingerprints patterns. And also, nalaman niya na potential yung mga pagkakaiba-iba ng mga fingerprints sa criminal investigation. Next, we have also Dr. Hans Gross. Okay? A native Graz, Austria, published criminal investigation that contained the first comprehensive description of physical in solving crime. It was used as a handbook for examining magistrates in Munich, Germany. Graz was the earliest advocate of criminal investigation as a science. Graz is also credited with coining the word criminalistics, and take note, bukod po sa siya ang pinakaunang nag-coin or nag-introduce ng word na criminalistics, siya din po ang itinuturing na father of criminalistics. Next, 1977, USA, the FBI or Federal Bureau of Investigation, they introduced the beginnings of AFIS or Automated Fingerprint Identification System, wherein yung mga fingerprint ng isang tao, nakalagay na siya in the computerized scan. Okay? Pwede na siya ma-computerized scan na mga fingerprint. Okay? Yung picture ng tao, yung kanyang identification, and then his or her fingerprint. Yan na po yung AFIS na tinatawag natin or Automated Fingerprint Identification System. Next, we have also Map versus Ohio. Okay? In this criminal case, the Supreme Court ruled that illegally obtained evidence is inadmissible in state criminal prosecution. The case established the doctrine of poisonous tree or the so-called exclusionary evidence rule. Pag sinabi nating doctrine of poisonous tree, okay, yung mga evidence po na nakalap doon sa loob ng crime scene ay illegally obtained. Ibig sabihin, they did not follow the proper procedure on how to obtain properly the evidences. For example, kumuha ka ng evidence. You don't even use any gloves. Okay? That is considered illegally obtained evidence. Kasi the proper procedure is that you need to have with you your gloves if you are going to seize the evidence. Okay? So, ang sabi dyan, all of the illegally obtained evidence is inadmissible in court. Ibig sabihin, hindi po tinatanggap sa loob ng korte yung mga ganoong klase ng ebidensya. And that is under the case of, yun po yung nangyari sa case na ni Map versus Ohio, the doctrine of poisonous tree or the exclusionary evidence rule. Another, we have Miranda versus Arizona case. Okay? In this appealed criminal case, the U.S. Supreme Court established procedural guidelines for taking criminal confessions. Okay? Rights of person under custodial investigation. Okay? So, lahat ng taong under ng custodial investigation ay meron pong mga iba't ibang karapatan. Okay? Ngayon, sa case ni Miranda versus Arizona, hindi po nila binasa sa kanya or sinabi or in-inform yung kanyang mga karapatan wherein nagbigay siya ng mga confession. Okay? Kasi nga po, all of the person under custodial investigation has the right to remain silent. That is one of the example of the rights of the person. He has the right to remain silent because everything that you will say will be used against you. Pwedeng gamitin yung mga masasabi mo or sasabihin mo laban sa'yo. Kaya nga po minsan kung napapanood natin sa TV, I will just give my statement pag meron na yung aking abogado. Ganon yung mga sasabi nila kasi nga they are aware that they have such right like the rights against or the right to remain silent. Okay? Ganon nangyari. Kaya nga po, nagkaroon, inapila nila yung kaso ni Miranda. Kasi sabi doon, nalabag daw yung kanyang karapatan. Okay? So that is for Miranda versus Arizona. 1986 in England, DNA typing was used to solve crime. Okay? For the first time, we have ALEC Jeffrey's used DNA profiling to identify Colin Pitchfork as the murderer of two young girls in the English Midlands. Significantly, in the course of investigation, DNA was first used to exonerate an innocent suspect. Okay? In 1986, ginamit na po ang DNA typing for solving crimes. 1987, USA, DNA profiling was introduced for the first time in the U.S. criminal court. We have also New York versus Castro. It was the first case in which the admissibility or yung pagtatanggap ng DNA was seriously challenged. It is set in motion a string of events that culminated in a call for certification, accreditation, standardization, and quality control of guidelines for both DNA laboratory and general forensic community. Kasi nga, di ba, first time pa lang ginamit ang DNA bilang evidence doon sa case ni Castro wherein kino-question nila yung standardization, yung mga guidelines sa mga DNA laboratories kung sila ba ay qualified enough para mag-take ng exam ng DNA, yung mga laboratories, are they well equipped? Tama ba yung kanilang mga procedures na ginagawa and so on. In 1999, USA, the FBI upgraded its computerized fingerprint database. Diba kanina, we have the so-called AFIS or the Automated Fingerprint Identification System. Noong 1999 na, nagkaroon na po ng Integrated Automated Fingerprint Identification System wherein it allows paperless submission. No need na ang paper para lang makuha mo yung fingerprint ng isang tao. Kung nararanasan nyo po yung mga nangyayari kagaya na lang po pag mag-a-apply kayo sa COMELEC, okay, you just need to put your hand or finger doon sa isang monitor and then mare-record na po kaagad yung fingerprint mo. Like also in LTO, if you are getting your license or driver's license, kinukuhanan ka lang po ng fingerprint by the use of the small machine wherein lalagay mo lang yung fingers mo. Okay? The storage and search capabilities directly to the national database maintained at the FBI. So, ang pinaka-main na storage, lahat ng mga nakukuha nilang fingerprint ay nakadirekta na po sa database ng FBI. Okay? So, please be updated for more video. So, yan lamang po ang ating chapter 2, which is the personalities and development in criminal investigation. So, be updated for more videos. Thank you and have a good day.